My name's Alison Graves and I'm from the English booth at the European Parliament. What I'd like to talk to you about this morning is sunbathing. For a long time we've heard that there's no such thing as a safe tan. We all know the dangers of spending too much time in the sun. But now though there is a change in thinking, and that has come from an article in the Medical Journal of Australia, which is now telling us that a little sunshine is actually good for our health. Now this is quite a striking change because it was Australia which led the world in alerting people to the danger of sunbathing and to the damage caused by the sun and the link to cancer. We all know that Australia is the skin cancer capital of the world. As the pale-skinned immigrants from Northern Europe moved to Australia, they burned under the very fierce southern skies. And certainly in the latter half of the last century, with the fashion for tanning and for sunbathing, the cases of melanoma, which is the worst form of skin cancer, have soared. If I can just give you an example, amongst men in Australia, there are 51 cases of skin cancer per 1,000 inhabitants. And that figure is 20 times higher than the rate in Scotland. The Australian government launched a very strong campaign trying to educate people about the dangers of the sun, but nonetheless, skin cancer rates have continued to soar. A whole generation of Australians has been raised to fear the sun. Children wouldn't dream of going out without a hat, without long sleeves, without being covered in Factor 30 sun cream. But now, as I said, there is a suggestion that a little bit of sunshine is actually good for us, because a new problem has come to light, and that is the problem of vitamin D deficiency. You may know that vitamin D is made in the body by the action of the sun on the skin. Vitamin D is essential for strong bones, for a good, strong immune system, and also offers protection against some forms of cancer. So health professionals are now saying that whilst skin cancer is still a threat, we need to look at the benefits of the sun as well as the risks. So what would that mean in practical terms? In Australia, you would need to expose your hands, face and arms for about 5 to 10 minutes on most days to guarantee that you get sufficient doses of vitamin D. And in the winter, that would be 2 to 3 hours per week. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but if you think about your life, you get up, get in the car, drive to work, stay in the office, drive back home again, you can see that on some days you don't actually see the sun at all. And in Northern Europe, obviously, the situation is much worse from that point of view. With our grey skies and long winters, short days, we clearly need more exposure to the sun. And it's been estimated that by the end of the winter, about 60% of the population is deficient in vitamin D. And as I said, this leads to problems with weak bones, especially for the elderly. Leads to some forms of cancer and possibly also diabetes. So this shift in thinking may be quite significant. Doctors are being cautious. They say that that doesn't mean that the sun protection message is no longer valid. We do need sensible use of the sun, and obviously burning in the sun is still very bad for all of us. But here in Northern Europe, doctors say now that really we need to sunbathe whenever we can to make sure that we get enough vitamin D for optimum health. And so that healthy glow that we all like so much might just be healthy after all. Thank you very much.